Hello and welcome. This is Ananda, and this is my week's energetic oracle card reading for the week commencing the 30th of December. So I'm just going to go through the decks that I've chosen for this particular reading. So the three main cards which give us the main flavor of the energies for us this week are from Native Spirit Oracle cards. And this is the first time I think I'm using three decks, because I usually use three decks. So three cards from one deck, so it's three cards from this deck. But I think this is the first time where I'm using three decks by the same author, by the same creator. Okay, so we've got Native Spirit. So the three cards from Native Spirit deck. And then one from, again, Denise Linn, Sacred Destiny Oracle. And one, again, the single cards are to give us perhaps to give us a better feel of what's happening. And again, it's a Denise Linn, and it's the Sacred Forest. And I've also just pulled out a single card from the Change Tarot. And this is a very interesting tarot. It looks at it from the sort of psychological point of view. Okay, so it's very much deeply rooted and grounded in looking at our behavior, looking at our, whether it's the thoughts, the feelings, how our behavior sort of comes from that. And so that's just one card from the Change Tarot, and that's for us for the year and what we need to look out for the year. So the three cards from excuse me, Native Spirit. First one is Prayer Feather. Second one is Owl Medicine. Third card is Ancient Forest. And one from the Sacred Destiny Oracle is Abundance. And if you notice, the two single cards have a lot of flowers in them. And the one from the Sacred Forest is Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings. So, excuse me. So what does all of this mean? I was just asking myself, what does all of this mean? What's the general sort of idea? And when I read the synopsis in the little book which accompanies the actual deck, and the first thing it said was, love yourself and also love others. Accept yourself for who you are, accept others for who they are as well. And a prayer feather is like a way of setting an intention or creating a prayer and allowing and perhaps placing the feather hanging from a tree like this or from a bush. Or some people use a special bundle of feathers to smudge or in their shamanic rituals. But it's a way of communicating with spirit or with God or the other side or whoever else you may want to communicate with. But essentially it's about, for me, when I look at this and when I look at all of this, it's embodying love, truly embodying love. And we hear a lot of people saying, be the change you want to see in the world. And how are we able to love others if we do not love and accept ourselves? And I find personally that if I'm a little bit annoyed with someone, or someone kind of, for no real reason, I have a grating sort of feeling about someone, and I often find if I stop and ask myself, okay, what's going on? Why do you have this response to this person? And they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything at all. And I sometimes find that this, not always, but most of the time, I'd say 75% of the time, I do that. And actually, it's something which is very annoying. Okay, so perhaps the start of more love in the world is to love ourselves and to accept ourselves a little more each time, every day and each day. And I know it's really easy to say, oh, love yourself, when we've had childhoods of molding by society, by schools, by institutions on how we should be and how we should not be. And so it's really, really difficult to then, amidst all of this criticism and finger pointing and being shoved into a mold which, most of us cannot safely or want to fit in, or cannot, you cannot. It's just like there's so many ways in which we can learn things. There's not just one way, and we're all unique in many, many ways as well. But basically, so I think what this card is saying is not just communicate with spirit or with God, with one of these rituals, perhaps with the use of the feather, with the use of something so beautiful and so rare. But it's really very much about allowing love to flow through, opening yourself, opening your heart, opening your body, allowing each breath, each day, perhaps taking it one step at a time. You can't expect change in one hit unless, we really have to shift. But taking it each day at a time, and perhaps loving a part of ourselves a little bit more. And we may find that it'll be much easier to then accept other people for whom they are. And I think this year, when I look at these cards and I look at what came from the Change Tarot as well, this is very much something which is going to support us and which we may need. Yeah, we may need very much of. I think 2025 is going to be a transformational year for many of us, and usually transformation requires change. It's about change, and so having that capacity to just stop and just go, it's okay, it's okay, I'm okay, everyone is okay. I suppose it's also about feeling of safety. Yeah, I'm fine, I'm safe, and I love who I am now. I love where I am now. And although the situation may be tricky and maybe it's really horrible, at this point in time, I can love myself and the choices that I've made. And if I'm able to, perhaps I can look at that person in a similar kind and gentle way, and perhaps it may be an opportunity for more community work, for more cohesion in communities, and better relationships as well. Owl medicine. Owl is sometimes called a night eagle, and in this particular tradition, I think it's about feminine energy, because it's about the dark and very, very deep, the intuition. Owl is also about wisdom, often seen on the shoulder of Pallas Athena, who was of course one of the Greek deities, very wise, head and lead, I think the lead deity of Athens, Pallas Athena. And so this time as well is a time to dive deep into our intuition, to access knowledge and wisdom which is there. And I really do believe that not just the body wisdom, or the body wisdom holds a huge amount of information, huge amount of wisdom as well. And sometimes our body is the only thing which is grounded out of our whole sort of thought process as well. The body is the only thing of us which is grounded, so it's really, really important. But there is also other information which we can tap into, the wisdom of our ancestors, and the wisdom of being grounded in the moment and being open to all that is shown to us, and knowing what is real, what is just an illusion, and what is truthful, and therefore being able to move forward with confidence as a result of the reliance of our intuition and our ability to tap into our discernment so that we can see truth from lies. You see the path which is, a decision which is perhaps the best thing for us at this moment in time. So this is there for all of us, and it's a real invitation to really meditate on it. Go into it, go deep into yourself. Don't be frightened about what you may see. Learn to love whatever you see. Maybe parts of you which really require love and tenderness, so that you can accept yourself, and you find that the trauma gets released, or it's not as awful as it is, and then you can move forward. You can break through the old shit the old stuff which says no, you can't go that way, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get killed, or you're gonna get, it's gonna be damaging, you're gonna have another trauma. Yeah, so all those are there to try to protect us, but sometimes it's just gets so restrictive that we have no freedom to then make a new choice, and pave a new path for ourselves. So love, intuition, meditation, and we've just come past the winter solstice, which was the darkest day, and we're still in quite a time of deep darkness. Yeah, deep darkness, and it's okay. It's an opportunity to stop the daily life and to investigate yourself. Investigate what you know, investigate what you don't know, investigate what you might like to find out, what you might like to do, and a way of checking if is this a good path for me, or is it time to just jump and do something different. And the last card in the 3-card series is Ancient Forest. Just trying to get the glare off it, and look at that. So we've had Native Spirit is full of nature cards, full of full of earth cards. Yeah, full of forests, full of trees, of rivers, of life, of abundance, so much abundance. And nature is constantly abundant, constantly being born, constantly growing, constantly dying. That whole cycle is going on at the same time. And Ancient Forest is again about rooted, deeply rooted in your wisdom, in your soul, getting the nourishment from there, getting the information from there. I think it's also about getting out in nature as much as possible. It's deeply grounding, and it's deeply nourishing for us. Forest bathing, it's a real phenomenon, and it's been proven by Japanese scientists that it's necessary for us, especially we live in a metropolitan area, in the city, where you're surrounded by lots of man-made things, concrete and glass, and you may not be surrounded by living, breathing things and creatures. And we need to have at least, I think, 4 to 5 hours a week in the forest, just breathing in all the aromas and touching base with the ground and sensing all the nature spirit, sensing all that energy and all that life and destruction, because you see fallen trees and trees which are engulfed in mushrooms and fungus, but then you see that the next time you come through, or in 6 months, you see lots of little buds coming up for around there, and how that destruction paves the way for new life. Yeah, it is not linear, it is cyclical. Okay. So the two from Sacred Destiny and Sacred Forest. Lots of flowers. To me, it's like lots of spring energy, lots of new light. But again, I think transformation, sometimes it brings about new beginnings. Yeah, new beginnings. But don't worry, there's so much, so much life around us, so much abundance. It's just, again, being open to it, being open to all the good stuff which is around us, and allowing new beginnings. Yeah, so if you do all your inquiry through this intuition and you find, I need to dump, I need to make changes, but how am I going to do that? So there's a lot of support for us. It's a huge amount of abundance. It's just whether we're aware of it. Yeah. And the daffodil fairy is promising new beginnings. So dream big, and do not be worried about being pushed into making new decisions, trying new things out, just going for it and enjoying it. And there's loads of energetic help and loads of material help as well. Okay, loads of new life. It's so weird because we're in the depths of winter and we have all these flower cards. So something is stirring right before the start of the new year. Something is stirring within all of us, and perhaps it's this call for a new way of being, a new way of community, a new way of life, a new governing system perhaps. And I have conversations with my daughter who's 19 about the present state of politics, and perhaps if we are not happy with how things are at the moment, we might need to have a look at ourselves. Yeah, what are we unhappy about with ourselves? And perhaps it needs greater relationship with our neighbors and the people who live around us, and a greater understanding, a greater acceptance of each other. Yeah. And to do that, we have to have greater acceptance of ourselves, and we will understand, perhaps we have a better understanding why people are the way they are. Yeah, because we're not really that different after all. There's far more which connects us than disconnects us. That's what I always find. Yeah. And the single card, so for those who know the tarot, the single card for the year for the collective is 5 of Pentacles. And I will read you what's in the book, because I think it's really, really good, and it's quite succinct, and then I will say goodbye. So the 5 of Pentacles. The present moment is not always an easy place to be. So this is for this year, at being present. It takes some skill to be here, but the ability to be present seems to be a prerequisite for feeling fulfilled. And if you can't do it here, you won't be able to do it anywhere. If one day you woke up and everything you've ever wanted or needed was right in front of you, without the capacity to be present, you would be just as ill-equipped to enjoy it as you were before you had them. Just as the characters in the 5 of Pentacles are in the presence of nourishment, they can't seem to see or access it. Leaving the present might be what somatic therapists in the Hakomi method tradition call a nourishment barrier, a defense that blocks us from absorbing the nutritive elements in the things we experience. The barrier might be compulsively scheming about another time or place to avoid the pain of the present. These barriers likely helped us survive a long time ago. So again, it all comes from childhood experiences, yeah? Or trauma after that, even when we're adults. But we may no longer need them. Maybe we didn't have better ways to be safe then, but we do now. The present moment can and often does contain pain, but maybe we have what we need now to cope. Perhaps we can stay and be safe. So there we are, being present, being brave to be present, and allowing ourselves to feel completely, be it pain or be it joy, intense joy or intense pain, or partway in between. Yeah, the middle path perhaps. So this is the possibility for our year. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope that this was useful. Sounds like it's going to be an amazing week, and it sounds like it's going to be an amazing year as well. And please give it a thumbs up if you found this useful, and have an absolutely amazing new year. Do subscribe and you get pings whenever I upload any new videos. But have a fantastic new year. I hope it is full of abundance and you have an amazing time. Lots of wisdom, yes, and that it's full of love and kindness and generosity for you. And do enjoy time out for yourself, connecting with your wisdom, connecting with your truth, and allowing yourself to see who you really are and loving yourself for it. Okay, so thank you very much. Happy New Year. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in a week's time. Bye for now. Namaste.